Hi everyone, welcome to the Chat and Vibe series for the Vitality Festival, which starts on October the 31st, not long to go now. We've got an amazing 9-day virtual health and wellbeing festival targeted at frontliners, but anyone who's really needing a bit of support and inspiration and motivation to find their new normal coming out of this COVID cocoon. And today I am delighted to be talking to Jay Hoad. How are you, Jay?
I'm amazing. Thanks so much for having me, Tanya. And just so blessed to be involved. And just hearing you say that, it's like getting goosebumps. Just feeling into that. So thank
I
you.
know. I know it's not long now until we're all starting. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to be where you are today?
Sure, it's a long story, so I'll do a quick condensed version. But yeah, just a really, I guess, passionate musician, a lifetime devoted to music, which has transitioned me into sort of sound healing, which transitioned me into sort of yoga, tantra, and spirituality, and just generally being a warrior of love to the best of my ability, and consistently coming back to that and assisting all the people that I can on my journey. And music is one of the biggest tools with that, between my sort of knowledge sharing that I've been gifted to have so many incredible teachers around the world that have taken me under their wing out of the 40 plus countries that I've toured, performed, studied in, just an abundance of sharings that have been gifted. So sharing that, and these days, yeah, touring around the world. Sort of, I was. Now I'm kind of grounded for a little while, but now just starting to come back into running a lot of ceremonies and working with a lot of gifted people around the world and bringing their magic. And of course, with my tribal moon cacao medicine and my music medicine, it's all a bit of this and a bit of that.
That's incredible. And you've really had a worldwide journey. You know, you were telling me the other day about all the festivals that you've gone to and how many different performances. And so is that generally, with the sound healing work that you do?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's this beautiful blend of being a rock star and being sort of a spiritual kind of guy, and that's kind of my thing. So this year we cancelled like 160 shows around 15 countries when the COVID sort of thing started, and that included like Glastonbury and WOMAD in the UK and lots of other festivals around the world. But some are spirituality healing based, from cacao ceremonies to sound healings to sort of knowledge sharing and yogic and tantric principles, to just full on rock show with my show with all these crazy guitars and stuff you can see behind me with 20 instruments on stage, and raucous distorted sort of rock sounding skateboards and all sorts of crazy instruments. So I kind of blend the two worlds together, and that's kind of my thing. So yeah.
I think that's great because really there's so many different worlds out there, so many different people, and it's a real skill in order to bring two different worlds together. And, one thing from speaking to you, really about bringing people's own inner power out. And you've got lots of different ways that you do that. I know that the ceremonies are also something where you're really introducing people back into their own selves. Tell us a little bit about that.
100%. I'm just finished week 3 of my 4-week medicine drum course for beginners. So I'm in the middle of that at the moment, and it couples really well with what you just said, because last week's lesson was all about how to control the energy of a room through rhythm. And I taught about Shiva rhythm and Shakti rhythm. The first 2 weeks was Shiva, and now week 3 and 4 is Shakti. And it's literally, you can fully control the energy of a room, and riding those waves of assisting people in releasing or relaxing or screaming their lungs out if they're needing to, feeling that energy, whatever it might be. But you can ride the room, dance flow, stillness, all this through music, and it's just such a gift. So yeah, so I've studied sound healing a lot of my life, so that relates to it's kind of what led me into studying like yoga and stuff, because through studying frequency, through my interest in music and how it relates to, say, the chakras to begin with, chakras, however you want to say it. Um, and then also, not just to that, but physically, the body parts, spiritually, emotionally, and that sort of thing. Each frequency, each emotion has a resonance of frequency. And through my many years and lifetime of study, I've related that to music. So when I'm composing, when I'm in these ceremonies, or your event coming up next month for me, is going to be, it's always spontaneous. So I just fully trust in the universe, channeling, fully trusting in that channel, that whatever is going to come through is perfect for the people that are coming to the event. And a lot of the time it used to be always in person, but now online it's a really similar intuition, and tuning into the people that are in the space at that time, and going to, you know, these myriad of instruments and knowledge I have to choose from to spontaneously compose, for the specific experience of these people. As well as that, I work composing for a lot of healers and people around the world. So for this, my beautiful partner Susan will be with me, and she's a transpersonal therapist amongst many other sort of modalities. So I'll be composing with her speaking. So not only will I be channeling to compose for everyone attending, but also it'll complement everything that she's speaking. So when she says breathe in, it literally cues me to play something to complement that in breath. And when it's, you know, deep exhale, I'm literally complementing that deep exhale. And depending on where she's at in the body, spiritually, in mind, heart, animal, wherever that may be, outside, inside, whatever, 11th, 17th dimension, whatever it might be, you know, I'm doing my best to be there with her and with you guys. So that's how I work.
What an amazing gift that is. I think it's fantastic. And, you know, the rhythm, I think, is just so important. One of the sayings that I've loved over the years is learning to march to the beat of your own drum. And I think, you know, with the current circumstances, that's been really important, because we're all, you know, we're no longer externally influenced so much. We've really been forced to go inside, and people really need to connect with themselves, and especially coming out of the COVID cocoon. You know, you really need to know what's important to you, and you know what's resonating with you that may not have been resonating with you beforehand, or was resonating with you before but now it's not. Talk to us a little bit about how you encourage people to really get in touch with their own rhythm, and you know what's important, or uncover and discover what's important for them.
Mm. Yeah, so I think the way, just to tune into that answer, is knowledge sharing for me. I try not to do anything, to be honest. In particular, I'm really focusing on not trying to do anything for anyone, but sharing, again, sort of channeling and sharing knowledge, um, information, whatever you want to call it, that may assist people on their journeys, may or may not assist them on their journeys. I'm not attached to the outcome of how it turns out for the individuals who attend, which in turn gives me 10 times full power to tune in to give everything I can, because I'm not trying to do anything, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
It's kind of like you're naturally allowing people to unlock themselves in their own way, really.
Yeah, and definitely tuning in to bringing all I can to the table to assist in doing that if that's what the mission is for those people. And it
Mm.
generally works out really well. So I'm definitely super in tune with that energy. If I'm feeling that want from someone to, you know, give me something I could use, I could possibly benefit from getting something from you, you know, I'll try and channel what I do in that way to give them an opportunity to receive something if that's how they interpret it. I'll tell you one thing just quickly on a bit of a side note too, with music and what you're saying about the rhythm, you know, and how it relates. I always say like space is the final frontier, right? So not only with space, but the power of space in music, and especially with sound healing. It's one of the things I often tell the healers that I'm working with is, and if I don't play for 5 minutes, don't be alarmed. There's an intention for this. And when I come back in, the way what they've just presented is enhanced, or the what comes up for people in that space is, in music, that space just gives what comes next so much more power, it would seem. So that's
Mm.
really cool too. But yeah, that's kind of my vibe. Not really trying to do anything specifically, but just tuning in to see what comes through.
I love that. The space is really important, because that's really, you know, essentially when you're doing meditation, that's what you're trying to do, is create the space between your thoughts, because that's where the magic and what you keep saying, the intuition, you know, really comes, and that power and the magic comes out in you, is when you have that space. Is
Mm.
incredible things happen. So I
Yeah.
love that you include that in your sessions. It's fantastic.
Yeah, totally. And I guess my mission of what I'm trying to bring is really coming back to love. Like I said in the beginning, I really can consider myself and try and always come back to that heart-centered sort of warrior of love. And it's not necessarily the easiest journey, you know, this path. But it's really beautiful. No one's journey is necessarily the easiest, but always trying to tune back into whether my, you know, emotions, whether my thought processes, whether my stories coming from my unique experiences in this lifetime at their core are coming from love or fear, and trying to be vulnerable enough with self to keep on tuning back into that and the truth beyond my story that I'm creating in that moment, almost looking at it as a third party entity and be like, hey, what's the core? Am I choosing this job in my life right now because of love or fear? Am I
Mm,
choosing to work my ass off right now because of love or fear? Am I choosing to be scared of COVID because of love or fear?
mm.
Not that I'm an advocate for any of these beliefs, but, you know, don't want to get
Yeah,
shut down by Zoom right now, but you know how it works. So yeah.
yeah. And it's good to know the source of where things are coming from. You
Yeah,
know, that's really
absolutely.
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
there is so much fear around at the moment. It would be great for all of us to try and transform that, you know, into that different state of love. It's got a much more, it's a higher vibration, really.
It's a higher vibration, exactly, and that, you know, even higher than love, they say, is, you know, joy and gratitude, which really relates to, you know, that same vibrational pattern of and frequency of love. But you know, they say gratitude and that gift of giving and gratitude for this exact moment is the highest vibration of all, or at least right up there. So yeah, it's exciting.
Very exciting. And I'll tell you what else is exciting is your journey into the cacao medicine. Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about that. What's cacao and what does it do for us?
This is perfect timing. I'm literally, one of my staff has been like, I need your story. And I'm writing my story for our new website today, which is really diving into the truth of how this story came about for me to be this cacao man these days, and how Tribal Moon cacao was kind of born and is now booming. So, cacao, we import what we call ceremonial grade cacao from Peru, from the northwest of Peru. And it's we work with these beautiful villages, little community, harvesting this cacao. These guys are, yeah, harvesting this cacao. They're very well looked after. It's all organic. The cacao is basically prepared with sunlight, wind on these like long sort of slim trays with plenty of ventilation. It's quite a big process. They're cold pressed cacao beans, so they then run through a procedure. So there's no heat ever applied to them except for natural sunlight. There's no modification in any way, no artificial anything. It's literally cold pressed cacao into this form that is eventually brought to us and then shipped around the world with our Tribal Moon cacao branding. And I come from a background as a chef, so I've been really working with these guys to get the flavors and get the texture and get the strength all just right, because it started from me running ceremony and cacao ceremonies all around the world with my sound healing, and I just couldn't find. I tried all the brands of cacao around the world, and nothing I found met all my high standards of what I liked. And specifically coming from a chocolate addict background and flavor being a huge thing for me, I just wanted something special. So over the last few years, I've worked with these guys in Peru, and about 18 months ago, we tested it and that for a while, but we finalized the the blend basically, and that's Tribal Moon Cacao. So it's known in the spiritual community as a heart opener. So it's a really powerful assistant used by the sort of ancient, it's known in the Aztec communities and the Mayan culture back, you know, long time ago, used tuning into the heart, and things like the mapping of the stars and the solar systems is it's possibly associated with that. It's documented a lot that that helped a lot with those guys tuning into those frequencies. Also, you know, gods and goddesses and all the amazing things, sacred sexuality, tuning in with yourself, your beloved, just in the heart, letting go of things that no longer serve. So in the ceremonies, it's a powerful assistant to open the heart, to possibly look at again your stories that you've created possibly in this lifetime from your unique experiences, to maybe look at things in a different way, maybe let go of some things that no longer serve, and maybe come out in more of a full power and beloved union, inner union of self and your divine masculine feminine energy that makes your unique being. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's not so relevant. um, so it physically increases blood flow to the brain quite dramatically, 20 to 30%. um, and yeah, a powerful assistant for tuning into whatever you want to be. So a lot of artists use it, you know, painters, writers, musicians, um, but then also with spirituality, dropping into meditation, stuff like that as an alternative. Like kids love it for their brownies and cookies and all that stuff, you know. So we're really, I've got a bit of a thing running at the moment with all these feature stories about kids, all these kids quotes about, I love it when mummy puts cacao in my lunchbox and try moon cacao and stuff. It's really cool. So moving to that, it's great for the teeth, great for the heart, great for the skin, great for the blood. So total opposite of chocolate and super tasty. Like I think you've tried some, and you know the
Mm,
smell when you get the bag and smell the bag is just like whew, this amazing
mm,
magic. And yeah, I've got some in my little NutriBullet right
yeah.
here. So two bananas, almond milk, and a big chunk of cacao, and become very talkative for an hour or two. So there you go.
I love it. And a huge thanks to you because Jay's been so generous that he's donated a couple of about 5 bags of the cacao powder, which we'll be giving away as prizes throughout the time at the festival. So you'll have to tune in for those as well. So thank you for that. That was very generous of you.
My
And
pleasure.
so
Thank
tell
you.
me, if someone's going to come along to your sound healing guided meditation, is it something that's really active? Are people sitting up, lying down? Can you just give some of the viewers a little bit of an idea of what they would expect in attending one of your sessions?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, it's going to be somewhat open to interpretation on the day. We invite people to tune into whatever they're feeling. Um, I'm thinking it would probably be a little bit more low key, but it really depends on the energy of the room. So probably, you know, definitely like lying down and just soaking it in and having a sound bath, but also like a soul bath. And my partner Susan, the way she speaks and the knowledge that she taps into, her uplifting nature and the way she looks at things is just brilliant. So it's gonna the idea of it's definitely dance is possible. There'll be some rhythmic elements throughout the session that will be more of a consistent rhythm that can be a possibility to dance through. Usually it's got somewhat of a wave shape to our sessions, so it'll kind of ease into it and drop everyone into, you know, feeling everything, and then possibly dance, possibly an ecstatic dance if they feel it, and then transitioning back to relaxing. However, we really invite people, if they just want to stay grounded on a yoga mat or on their couch at home, whatever, for the whole time, that's totally welcome. If they want to dance like crazy, you can, there's like plenty of opportunity for seaweed dance. That's always popular at our ceremonies, and then moving into more of an ecstatic dance. But really just flowing with the space and whatever they feel. The main goal of this session is bringing the love and bringing the potential of yeah, just empowerment and responsibility of self, to uplift self, to be the best version of self that one can choose to be if they choose that, or if that's resonating, you know, just really uplifting. It'll be more heart-centered keys and root chakra keys mostly. I'd say that's where I work most of the time. So full power, full grounding, and full heart opening to tune into that quantum field of the new possibilities that may be.
Sounds absolutely divine. I cannot wait. I'm really excited. It's on the Thursday evening is Jade's session. And like you said, he's with his partner, Susan. I can't recommend it enough. You should definitely attend for that one, if not everything else as well. So thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for being part of the Vitality Festival. Can't wait to have you and all your energy as part of it, and your generous, kind donations of the cacao power. So thank you, Jay, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you. And likewise, it's been such a blessing watching this all unfold and seeing all the magical people that you're bringing together and what you're creating. So, yeah, thank you, Tanya. I really appreciate all your magic as well.
Thank you.